stretching routine to warm up. So if you're at home watching us, sitting on your couch, get up. Let's do it together, and we'll have a nice stretching routine first. Then we're going to get into some self-defense techniques today because we had a bunch of people. We did a survey on Ninja Training TV on the YouTube channel, and I think we did another one on Facebook, and it was asking what the things that people were most interested in learning. And so a lot of people were like, we want self-defense, empty-handed techniques because you're going to end up using those on the street mostly. So there you go. We'll probably do some of those today, maybe knife defense, maybe some club attacks and stuff like that. But first things first, let's get warmed up and feel good about being here. So you want to move over just a little. There we go. All right. So let's look up and down and up and down and to the left and the right and the left and the right, and around in a big circle. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. The eclipse is tomorrow. A lot of people all over are talking about it. At least this time, I guess they're not saying the world's ending or whatever, but it's all good.
Some people are acting like it is, Mark.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, right arm going around. Nice big circles. It's great to see our delay on the channel because you're watching yourself moving. It's trippy. Yeah. Awesome. Hey, Tom's here. What's up, Tom? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're out there stretching. All right, going in reverse. Feeling that shoulder loosen up. Joe's here too. Sensei Joe. Hey, onegaishimasu. We're going to go fly out to Sensei Joe's place in Maryland soon to do a nice, big, huge seminar. It's going to be awesome. It's great. Tom's got us on the big screen at work. Perfect. He's got all of his people in his showroom at his work doing our stretching routine right now. I love it. Good job, Tom. Spreading it, getting it out there. Nice. I can't wait to get out there too, Joe. It's going to be fun. All right, side to side action. Sink into your knees and get your legs warmed up at the same time that you're doing your upper body. And I have to shout out again, very, very, very good shout out to Zebra Mat Company. These mats are incredible. 2-inch thick. We could throw each other on these and you just get up and it was like nothing. It's so awesome. Then we got an advanced, huge, squishy pad for extra throwing in case we want to go heavy on the throws one day. And that one is like 10 to 12 inches thick. You put that on top of these and yeah, you're set. You don't feel it at all. Love it. Richard's on. How you doing, Richard? I hope you're doing good. Can't wait to see you soon. All right, coming around other direction, stretching out those hips. I'm going to be doing a really cool routine next week for you guys. So for those of you who have ever had lower back issues, I have a really cool core routine that I have been doing. My physical therapist that works with me, keeps me all put together, gave me a whole bunch of really neat exercises. So I'm going to show some of those. If you guys have those big exercise blow up balls that are like 30 inches. We're going to have one of those next week and start to show you some core exercise that will keep your lower back in good shape. Rotating the other direction. Nice. And bringing your feet together. Rotating the knees. All right, on. San Pedro. Nice. Buenas tardes. All right, we've got our people on from all over. It's getting good again. Last week we had Argentina, Croatia. We had the Canary Islands. We had Canada, United States. It was fun. All right, go ahead and get into those ankles now. Rotating the ankle. Nothing like it. Feeling that warmth coming through your body. Going the other direction. Tom's probably out there doing this move and he's like Elvis. Oh yeah, he's got his dance moves. Switching sides, going to the other ankle. Letting that warm up happen. People are really liking these stretching routines. We've gotten a lot of feedback from you guys. I do them every day. I like get the body going this way. It just feels so good. Nice. Okay, let's do feet shoulder width apart. We're going to go down to the middle first and just hang. So let your head drop. Take some deep breaths in. And let them out. Let them out. And last one. Going over to the right side. For those of you who are already in the Bujinkan and training, I have some really cool reports back from Japan. Other side, things have been really opening up there again. Classes are starting to fill up. All the new grandmasters are teaching. It's been really cool to get some reports back from there. Back to the middle. So if you're holding off on going to Japan, you can head back. Things are open again. Going to the right side again. It's time to take a deep breath and try to go a little bit deeper. Letting it out. Other side. Nice. Okay. Going down to the right side, let your left leg go out straight. And stretch it over. See if you can get down into that hip. Feel that juiciness. Awesome. Pinja's here.
Ninja.
There we go. Let's go back to the other side, the left side. Okay, so Pinja's asking a question here. Can you tell us what makes a really good uke? Woohoo! Good question. So for those of you out there who don't know what an uke is, back to the other side. The uke is the training partner who typically does the attacks. So for practicing a waza, the uke will come in and do an attack, and the tori will typically handle that attack and do something with it. Back to the other side. And what makes a good uke is somebody that isn't too like limp and wimpy, but not too strong as well, where they stay with you at the same time. Okay, going down to the middle. Let's see how far we can go into those full splits. Here we go. All right, take a seat. I'm feeling good and warmed up today. This is nice. Okay, so let's go to the right side. And we'll hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. Ichi, ni, san, shi, go. And the middle. Ichi, ni, san, shi, go. And to the right one more time. Ichi, ni, san, shi, go. To the left. Ichi, ni, san, shi, go. And back to the middle. Ichi, ni, san, shi, go. All right, bottoms of the feet together. Grab onto your ankles. Take a deep breath in, straighten your back. And breathe out, push down with your elbows. Sink down into it. Oh yeah, feeling good. One more time, release those elbows, come up straight back, deep breath in. And push down. One more time, straight back. And going down and in. Perfect. Go ahead and go up towards the toes this time. We're going to try to pull our head down. So straight back, deep breath in, and pulling down. Releasing that, coming back up. Deep breath in and out. Pulling down. Nice. Awesome. Okay, both feet straight out. You're going to bring your left leg over the top, rotate your ankle. The other good thing about being a good uke is to give your Tori, the partner you're training with, good feedback. A lot of people, when they train, they check out when they're the person who's doing the attack. They kind of just throw it and then, oh, they're going to do something to me, or they're going to practice the move now. But what I've found being a good uke is I stay fully aware and attentive during that attack so that I can look to see how I can counter the person. I don't necessarily want to counter them all the time. I want them to experience the technique and get to learn how to do it. But I also want to look for openings so that my training can continue. Okay, that foot's on the ground. Look behind you. Twisting back. Very good. Switch feet. Other foot's up. Rotating the ankle. That's a really good question. We get into uke and tori roles, the attacker and the person taking the ukemi, a lot in our school. Because a lot of people come in with tension and all sorts of strength. And it's okay. It's okay to be strong. It's okay to have speed and strength. But when you want to learn, you want to go slow as smooth as fast. This is a military concept that I learned, and it's a really cool way to really dial in the technique and get it correct. And if you do a correct technique, it changes things a lot compared to just doing a lot of techniques fast and inaccurately. Your brain is amazing what it can do. Foot on the floor, looking behind you. It can remember movements and patterns. It can set up neural network pathways that you can access when you need it in a time of flight or fight response. So it's pretty cool. That's a great question. All right. Okay, going forward. Let's go ahead and stretch forward. Take a deep breath in. See if you can grab down onto your ankles. Walk your fingers down there. Deanna, wish I could stretch my ankle but the metal plate is gross. Oh, I also have a metal plate in my ankle from a motorcycle accident. That's a good one. Oh, let's see. We've got somebody saying, Mark, where did you serve? I was in the 10th Mountain Infantry Unit, and I was based out of Fort Drum, and then a detachment unit out of Saratoga, New York. Back in the day. Love the explanation of uke. Feels like I'm back in my Aikido dojo. Yes, John, that is correct. There are many similarities for that. Okay, now for those of you who are flexible enough, grab onto your toes and pull your heels off the ground. If you're not flexible enough, go ahead and just reach down and see if you can touch your ankles again. It's fine if you can't do this. But for those of you out there who are super flexible, that's right. We're going to make it happen. Moon dog. Oh, yes. Muscle memory, attacking with intention. Yes, that is a lot going on there. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and flip it over now. We are going to go up onto all fours. You're going to take your back. You're going to arch your back, look at your knees, stretch out, wiggle around a little, drop the stomach, looking up, back up, and looking back up. Bye. Thank you for your service. You're welcome, and I love that you said that. I have my son and all of my people that I are close to me always go up. They see a veteran with a hat and thank them. And if they let you, shake their hand and just say thank you for your service. That's a good thing to do. There's a lot of people who sacrificed everything and a lot of people who put in the time for us to be able to be where we're at and the freedom to do what we're doing. It's a good thing that we had people that are in selfless service. It's a good thing. Okay, so that's back stretch. Let's go into downward dog. Popping up. Take a deep breath in, let it out. See if you can push your heels down to the ground. Get into it. Perfect. Bending your elbows, coming through. Looking up at the ceiling. I'm feeling better already, Victor. It's so juicy. Okay, coming back into your knees now. Let your shoulders stretch out a bit here. I like to wiggle it side to side. Let those lats open up. Nice. And then one more time, going into downward dog. Splay your fingers apart. Really good. Push those heels into the ground. Couple deep breaths. Nice. Bending the elbows. Coming through. Very good. Okay. Victor and I will be facing towards each other. You're going to take your opposite hand, put that through, come up on top, point towards the ceiling. Let that shoulder really get stretched out. Very good. Switching sides. Other elbow down, shoulder down, back of the hand, stretching up. Nice. And coming back up. All right. Very good. So that's a good warm up here. Let's do a little Sanshin no kata, Gokui no kata for our warm up as well. So we always start with Chi no kata, falling back, coming in. And then we just flow side to side. We get our movement going. Go at your own pace. Whatever works for you. It's nice to do movement with your warm-ups. And you get to practice Tai Sabaki, falling off line. You get to practice Taijutsu, striking with your whole body and your limbs. There's a lot that is in the Sanshin. Teaches very good angling, distancing, and timing. And there's a lot to be learned from this with sinking into your knees, keeping your back up and down straight, proper breathing. A lot going on here. I'm excited for tomorrow's eclipse. Got some of those special glasses so you can stare at the sun and see what it looks like, not go blind. That'd be bad.
Where'd you get those, Mark?
Oh, just online. Yeah. They're little cheapy ones like you got for like the movie theater, the 3D glasses. They're pretty cool. Okay, so that's Chi no kata. All right, let's go ahead and get into Sui. The Tube Stormer says, did ninjas induce a trance-like state to do missions? That's a really good question. I guess you could look at a trance-like state in many different ways. Setting yourself with a proper mental attitude for a mission would definitely be appropriate. When we would go out on patrol in the military, you would get ready to tape all your gear down so that nothing made noise when you were going out on patrol. You drop all your heavy gear at a point where it's gonna, not be in the way, and then you'd go out with a lot of lighter gear on to do your mission, depending on what type of mission it is, of course. But as you're setting up your gear, the room would get into a mental state for sure. People would get into a, not a trance-like state, I wouldn't say. That's more to me like I think about a meditation or something with trance or trance dancing. I guess that would be another one. But more of a mindset, a mission mindset. This is the objective of this mission. No matter what, we're going to fulfill this mission. And there's a way to set up that mental attitude so that it's your mission. You're not going to fail. You're going to push through all the hardships that are going to come about, and you're going to adapt and overcome whatever might come up in the mission. It might not work perfectly, like real life is messy. So it's a really good one to ask. There are a lot of Kuji ninja finger weaving mind state techniques that people do to invoke, like maybe you're fearful, so you'll do a different type of Kuji and you'll set yourself up and lock it in. So that would be another way of thinking about inducing a meditative state. Okay, so we just did Sui. Now let's get into Kano Kata, Jodan Uke, and coming into Urashuto. This one I love. It has a lot of practical technique stuff for this with a block and then coming through, maybe even a grab with this one as well. Zanshin would be what you would want on a mission. There you go. I like that one, Joe. That's a really good answer. Zanshin is readiness state, just full awareness, being awake and aware in the moment. Perfect. See, everybody out here has so many good things to contribute. That's a great way to think of it. What's the most brutal technique you were submitted to? Well, in military or in ninjutsu? I've broken a lot of bones and a lot of ribs and tore things and all sorts of stuff. So I've definitely put in a lot of my time. Oh, camera down! Oh, great. Better switch it. Oh, there we are. We're back on. We had a camera go down, people. There's the most brutal technique ever done. Camera taking out. Yeah, I don't know. There's been so many times in training where back in the day we would go super hard and heavy, and we thought you had to train that way because we were younger. And I think you do in some ways. Okay, what's the next one? Chi Sui Ka?
Food.
Woohoo! Fu no Kata! Got it. And as I get older, I'm finding you can still train heavy, but you don't need to break each other as much as we did. I don't know, we were testing each other to see if our stuff really worked. I put myself in a lot of jobs where places like security and being a bouncer and military and stuff where I had to do stuff for real. And it's really easy to hurt people and to get hurt. And so it has to be, something you really want to test yourself if you want to do that. It's not as fun and it's not glorious when people are getting hurt. But being a bouncer was interesting. I had to take on a lot of drunk people, and when you're not drinking and somebody else is, it's really unfair for them, especially if you're trained. But things can get dirty and messy in fights with that as well. So, and fast. But what I've found with that type of stuff is if you know how to use your verbal judo and talk your way out of things and talk people down, it's way better than having to go hands-on if you can do that in a situation. Sometimes you just have to go hands-on and take them. And when I train police officers and people like prison guards who are having to deal with some of the worst people in society, they say, oh, well, some of these techniques, the ones don't work for pressure points and pain compliance. And I said, cool, think of the person like a skeletal structure in bones. Then take the bones down, not just the muscles. And then it becomes more effective that way when you start to think about it. Okay, last one. Chi, sui, ka, fu. Ku no kata. Void feeling form. Yeah, Moondog says it's easy to get hurt, yet there's years to heal. I like that one. Healing in many ways. Mentally, physically, emotionally, right? There's a lot going on there.
Just as important as any other ones.
There you go. That's what I think a lot of ninjutsu or martial arts, traditional martial arts, and especially in general teach is a good practice in how to be a better person and then how to deal with hardships in life and work your way through them. So I've met some of the most high quality people in arts while I'm training that have super good integrity and are really neat people. But any organization or any place you go, you're going to find good people and bad people. So you have to use discernment and figure out who's there and who you want to train with. Cool. All right. That is the Sanshin. So this is so good. Just a good warm-up flow. We worked on our things now. So we did a survey online a while back, and we were talking to people and said, hey, what would you like to see more of? If you could pick out of these 4 things, what would be the most that you would ever want to do? And it was hand-to-hand, empty-handed self-defense techniques. Because most of the time when we're walking around in our society, we don't have a big sword with us or a naginata. Victor might. No, but it's really cool for us to just do some empty-handed techniques. But that being said, the other person might not be empty-handed. So let's go with a knife technique. See if we've got one here that we can get at. All right, we'll use a big knife. This will be a good one. Cool. So this is a whapper blade that I got from my sword teacher. Let's say Richter's simulating a nukiuchi where he's drawing his sword out. So he's drawing a sword and he gets it wrong. Then your arm's out and your arm's in the wrong position. So just hold your arm out. And then my sword instructor would be like, no! And it sounds really bad, but it doesn't hurt because it's made out of flexible bamboo. But this was the whapper stick. So he gave it to me. He said, this is for your students who get things wrong. And I'm like, oh, yes. So we're going to use this one for our knife technique today. So first one, he's going to come in with a stab. And he wants to skewer me, right? Because that's a real attack. So one thing I love about Victor, he always comes through with his attacks. He doesn't fake it. This was a question earlier that came on where it's like, oh, here we go. What do you do for a good uke? This is a good uke, a person who actually stabs in and connects and goes through. Now, he had enough control to where he didn't have to hurt me, but I have to know he's going to follow through with that attack. So first thing we're going to practice is just getting off line. This attack is a simple one. It's a single straight stab. Yes, they might come back and do multiple attacks with this. We could deal with that later on, but most people who've never had an attack come on them before, it's good to teach them just about angling, distancing, and timing first. So when we do basics at school, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. As the attack comes in, I move this offline and I get a touch. My hand is touching right here. If he comes back in to cut me, I could drop my forearm here and block this so it's nice and heavy, or I can take it through and then do some type of a move on it. But let's just say he's going to go ahead and stab, and then I go offline. Then he goes ahead and stabs, and I go off on the other side. Then I take it from him, and we do stabs on him. He comes off. He moves his body out of the way. That time he got a touch, the first one. He did a really cool move. He opened up and went into hira no kamae. This is a very good way to do sword evasion ones as well. If I'm coming down from a daijodan cut, he could do hira and then get a touch afterwards with his hand like he did. So this is really good to move the body out of the way. And we're not doing any other technique. Just simple. So if you're at home and your wife is on the couch or your roommate, whoever's there, just say, hey, could you stab me? And then you can practice the technique. There's probably a lot of people that would like to get some stress out and stab people. But if we move out of the way, then we don't have to worry about it. Okay, so this is basic 101. Move your feet. So if I'm doing it towards the camera here, I'm going to pull my foot off and I'm going to give space at first, because then I have the ability to see, oh, here's a little bit of time. Maybe I'm going to do a second reaction after that. If I come in on mine and go here, now I'm closer to be able to do stuff, but I have to be on my game more to close this. So at first for basics, we just want to get a touch, and then we're really good, right? This touch is floating. It could be hand, it could be forearm, it could be elbow, but the touch is key. Because then, if I have my eyes closed and he does a move, I can feel that move to come back through and see what I have to do with it to move it and feel it. If I had some dust in my eyes or blood or anything like that, somebody throws a beer at you first and then comes in and you get a touch on it, you'll have a little bit better chance. So, be at home. As the attack comes in, step off line. Here's a common mistake. If Victor's on this side and he's stabbing in, some people go really big like this and they leave a gap between the person. And now he can swing back in easily and hit. So I want to learn how to thread the needle a little bit by just keeping my body close and having the arm be closer to me here. There's a really good reason for this. Switch hands. If I'm here and I move and I'm close inside, I can attach his arm to my body. He can pull back now, and I could ride with it. He could try to pull it out this way, and I can ride with it. My body can stay with this move, okay? So this is a really important thing to be able to attach. If this cut's coming in, and I go here, and I'm way outside, and I'm not attached to it, I have to be on my game more, because he could take it up, down, or whatever. So we just practice now, moving out of the way, but staying closer, and then attach it to your body. We switch sides, move it out of the way. Now he's got it right against his stomach, and he's got my arm barred already. All he has to do is pop his stomach a little bit, and that is gonna come in and arm bar me out really quickly, right? So I'm here, and there it is. Okay, so one of our basic techniques is called a mote gyaku. So let's have the knife for a second. That's the best on disarm technique, is to ask for it. So a mote gyaku is an outside wrist turn. If Victor's hand's here, I'm gonna grab around his thumb, grab around the pinky, bring it to the outside, and then I put him in a wrist lock this way. If he throws the punch, look at that, same as the knife. I'm right into this wrist lock. If it goes from the other side, I'm here and I bring it around. I cross my thumbs at the end, and then we could twist and turn and throw from here. Once you know the basic mote gyaku, the most beautiful thing is it works with knives, right? And you can cut back through. No handprints. Okay, so it comes in, I move my body minimally, and now I'm out to the side. The mote gyaku position for the hands is in that same position here. I also have a sword technique, right? There can only be one. Okay, so we just float basics. He moves his body, he gets a touch, and there's the mote gyaku. We switch sides. Come in. Ooh, nice shot to the face in between. I like it. Very good. And a takedown. All right. So we're here, out, float, and down and in. Okay. So at the end there, he's good. He wouldn't let go. So I slid his hand down, and I used my body weight to cut his hand off of the knife. A lot of people will ask this question, what if they don't let go? And how do you get their arm out of there? Good question. Let me show you a couple of those. So after I'm here, we have him down on the ground. Maybe I'll flip him over and I'll take his hand. I'm trying to get the knife out. He won't let go. We're out on the pavement. I push his hand on the ground and I go back and forth and I make street pizza. So that will wear down on cement all the way through to his bones. Very, very good. There we go. Road pizza. Joe's got it. He knew what was coming. Okay, another good one. We're here. I'm out. I try to get the knife. He won't let go. Kick him. Kick him. Cause a distraction in some other way. I could also go for this arm bar break with his elbow, which will then release the knife and we can go from there. So, move. Motekyaku. Person won't let go. Woohoo! Nice. Victor put on a really good strong arm bar on that one. Move. Motekyaku. Here's another good one. I'm trying to get the knife. I go down and go to the eyes and just take the face, dig out eyeballs, things like that. It instantly makes them forget about what's going on. So we can go with all sorts of different things here. Pressure points will work as well. But like we said earlier, if somebody's all drugged out and they're not feeling it, I go for structural bones. So I see his elbow, break the arm, and I'm going to have it come right off. Okay, so this is straight stab, right? What happens if the person is straight stabbing and pulls back and tries to come in for another one? You saw what Victor did. He had a touch, he floated back in with it, and rode it. So this is one of the things that we teach is riding the knife attack. First, you're in. If your body's close, it's easy to stay with it now because you're attached. You're not going to be letting go of just the arm or fixated on the blade. But as I come back in to pull in to try to stab again, he came back in with me and closed the gap. He has a lot of advantages here. He could step behind and do an Osoto Nage takedown with his foot. He could let go with one hand and pop me in the face. There's a million things you could do from here. So try and feel that float in when they come back in. Stay attached to it. And there he went right into the omote. So he's on it. He's already getting what we're doing here. This is perfect. Okay, so that's a straight knife attack. What happens if somebody comes in with a slash move like this? Like coming down through like they want to cut into your throat or the side of your face, right? So we're going to do a couple of different passes. So if you're a boxer, your hands are up. If you're a martial artist, your hands should be up. If you're about to have a confrontation with somebody, let's say I'm confronting Victor here on the street and my hands are down and I'm like, hey, you're not so tough, blah, blah, blah. My face is a target. He's already ready to go. So I better come in and go, hey, what's going on? Do you need help with something? Do you need some money? You need some pizza?
I need some
He needed pizza. That's all he needed. Okay. So if his cut's coming in, he wants to cut my throat, right like that. I'm going to try and get low and get to the arm and push the arm out of the way. All right. This is same side arm. I'm going to drop low and get low and try to catch that arm with my hand, forearm, and elbow. I can't grab with just my hand. It moves too fast when people have a really short knife and they could just keep cutting and slashing really quickly. But if he's committing to an attack and really coming in, I've got to try to redirect that arm. Then I come in close again, and then I could do a takeaway from here or an arm break. There's a lot of things you can do. I can also do this one with opposite arm. So that first one, I tried to get under and control the arm. Second one, he comes in to cut the throat, and I go the opposite side and I hook it. Now I have his arm hooked, and we can get into mushidoris. We can get into throws like in Seikinage and take them down and do things like that. It gets to be really fun from here. So, one, it comes in. Oh, I could also come into the inside and do a take. Hit, katate nage. Yeah! Got it. Okay, it's limitless. We could keep going with these, but we want to practice the flow to the outside and then close the gap and do a takedown. Perfect. We want to cross arms sometimes. Close the gap. And then do another take. Boom. Nice. Very good. Good takedown. cross, inside with a strike, and an osotonage. Very good. So you guys are getting it. These words I'm saying, what do those mean? What's going on there? Oh, osotonage. Oh, ganseki nage. Oh, and multigyaku. These are all the language of the Bujinkan. It's the moves he's doing on me. Once you speak that language, then you can look at the waza that were written for all the schools that were written down from the battlefield stuff, and then you can go, whoa, this is all, it's the encyclopedia. It makes sense now. Now it can decipher what's going on here. And then you pressure test it to see if it's relevant still for today, or if it was because they had armor on and weapons. So it makes it easy to do. Okay? All right, let's do a different one then. We'll try a different type of attack. So this one is going to be a swing to the stomach. So we're going to talk about a different type of ukemi that you can do with this. Victor knows it because he's one of the instructors here. So he stepped back. So go ahead and just be in Shizen, natural stance. Hold up your arms and don't move. And we'll see. With my step, I'm catching him with about 10 inches of this club here. So we're coming across and I'm getting a good hit. As he steps back with one foot and brings his hands up, I just nicked his uniform. So that's threading the needle. This is where it's so cool, like really, really good timing and good distancing. If I come from the other direction, it's the same thing. What gives him an advantage now from that position? He's forward. He can come down with his hands on something. His foot can easily step forward because he's not like stepping back out of the way and going, whoa, don't hit me with like bad positioning. And so this gives him the advantage to spring back in and to handle action from there. So it's really good. So what we teach is let yourself get hit, make sure the distancing is right. As the second attack comes in, I step out and then I come back in and I do a take with it. So that way you can practice. And when you're doing it, you should be getting hit sometimes. I did it on purpose and didn't step far enough because I wanted to show you guys, this is how you should be training. Pressure test. See if you're going enough, right? So I'm here, out, all good. He just hit my gi on that one. That was perfect. Here we go. Boom, nice one. So that's what you do with another type of attack. So when you're setting that one up with your partner, go ahead and swing through. Swing through. They're going to take a step back and then try to come in. That will give you guys a way to close on that type of maybe a club or a baseball bat. Somebody broke off a car antenna. They're using it as a whip for a modern time thing. It's great. Okay, let's see. Somebody says, and there's no chain with the weights on the end, courtesy of Home Depot. So that would be a Kasuri Fundo. And that one, if you're carrying it around, you might get in trouble. But they do have wallet chains. There's a lot of different things. You can have a cell phone cord. There's really cool ways to be inventive with improvised weapons. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll put this up. That was awesome. And we did a knife attack. What we're trying to really show you guys is there's a lot of ways to use basics. There's a lot of ways to just move your body to get out of the line. So one of the things you should teach if you're a martial arts instructor is get off the line. Most punches and fights, something's going to come in this way. If they have a weapon, they're going to try and reach you. It can only reach you in so many ways. A stab or some type of a swing. From those swings, you've got to practice all the different ways that they could swing it and the length of how you would deal with that. So dealing with coming in, closing the gap, going backwards, angling out. There's a lot of cool things that you can do with those. And we go over that in our course a lot. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. We have a lot of fun putting these out. We want to keep doing these for you guys because we got to share this and get it out there and let you guys have fun with it. We're going to get into some other things down the road here with some ninja meditations, some really good fitness routines. There's a whole plethora of things that you can do. When you think of martial arts, it's not just mat time only. It's concepts, it's ways of living, it's diet. It's all sorts of interesting things. So this is what we're doing, and I'm really excited about it because I've been doing martial arts since I was 7, and now I'm 4 years old. And it's just a lot of fun to keep going, and it's helped my whole life, and I'm just so happy to help share back now that I've been given so many great gifts. We've also had a couple people ask whether or not you want to see us do the shurikens and stuff like that. So I just built a new shuriken target here on the wall in the dojo, and I guess we could show some of those next week, because there's nothing like throwing knives, shurikens, bow shurikens, and all that good stuff. So, all right, we'll be doing some of that too. Okay, guys, well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you, Victor, so much for coming in and helping out. Thank you, Merlin, for helping out and catching the camera before it fell on the ground, because sometimes life happens. And for everybody out there who trained with us, good job. For those of you sitting on your couch, try next time maybe. You'll get it. Don't worry. And as always, keep training.